Welcome back to the Neighbors Star League, everybody. We saw Fantasy narrowly cheesed out there in that first best of 3 by Terminator. He moves on to the winner's match. But now we're switching gears entirely. We're going into the highlight match of the night, Leenock versus Super.
Yep, we're into the good stuff. Leenock versus Superman. Both these players playing very, very well at the moment. Leenock playing astoundingly well in ZVP. He's looked so fantastic.
Yeah.
80% win ratio with these current recent 10 matches.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that's a lot of recent matches. That's not like the most recent 10 matches where you're like, I haven't seen this guy in forever. Oh, this is really recent. You can see his match against Younghwa in the round of 32.
Face rolling Younghwa.
Wrecked, man. He got owned.
Dude, it was one-sided and gross.
He got Leenocked out of the round of 32.
He did. And then we've been seeing him constantly in Pro League, winning all his matches against Protoss as well.
Playing a lot of them as well.
He has a great understanding of the matchup, and he has his own style, his own flavor.
Yeah, he can play straight up, but he can also take an aggressive gold base on Overgrowth. He's really all over the place. You know, it's really tough to prepare against a player like this because he's so good at everything. Even if he's low on drones, he's quite good in that situation as well. You know, he's very, very good at adapting to a best-of series and a group, which makes him a terrifying opponent here in Group A.
He's good at being scrappy, I think is a good way to put it. He can, when it comes to blows and it's like base trade scenario, he knows exactly what to do. He knows when it gets down and dirty, he's ready for it, man.
Well, Super, this guy is an incredible player. He's always been good. And he has a great matchup against Zerg. As you can see, he's also 8-2.
How sick is that?
In this matchup, it just all adds up. It all lines up here, Moonblade.
The stars are aligning tonight, Wolf, at the Neighbors Star League. We get to see such a fantastic match. And yeah, Super, he's been on fire lately, man. He's been playing fantastic in this matchup. He defeated Biol in Challenger, as we can see here. Also face rolling his opponent.
Yeah, not an easy feat to beat Biol. And, I mean, I just have to say, this guy is really underrated. He played very well in the WECG qualifiers as well, in the Kespa Cup. I mean, this guy has been around for a long time, and recently, especially after he joined that foreign team Invasion, he's been looking really, really good.
Yeah, he's found some new motivation, I think. Like, he's really, joining this new team has really given him some drive to do well, because I guess he does have that option of going to these international tournaments once again, so long as he does well, and he's doing very well for himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Leenock is favored here. Do you agree?
I think it's really hard to say.
I'm saying slightly. Like
I'm gonna say Leenock has a little bit more momentum than Super coming into this because of how much Pro League exposure he's had recently. Like he's still very much in form. One thing to note, I know it's online, but we did see Super defeat Sulky 4-2 in an online tournament. The Base Trade TV Hey Look Koreans. That's the tournament's name.
Sure.
So that's also extremely impressive, man.
That's certainly no easy feat.
You can't ignore that, even if it's online, Wolf.
Yeah, I mean, I won't ignore it.
Don't ignore it, man.
I won't
You
ignore
listen
it.
to me, Wolf. This is a big deal, man.
I will definitely keep that in mind.
Dude.
We saw our bans there just briefly. Pretty standard. Nothing out of the ordinary for these two. Leenock's hair is sticking up. Nobody told him.
I kind of like it. I like it a bit messy.
I mean, it's
scruffy.
It certainly looks interesting. That's for sure.
Gives him a bit more character.
Well, Catalina is going to be our starting map.
Okay.
With no Terran on this one, I think it's pretty good for ZVP.
Yeah, it's not a horrible map. Let's just say that.
All right, guys, let's go into this ZVP. Leenock versus Super here at the Neighbors Star League. At the 9 o'clock position in red, the Noctopus spawns here. See what kind of opening he wants to do. Hair sticking up. Doesn't even care.
It's really bothering you, isn't it, man?
Yeah, it's just not supposed to be like that. Now to the bottom right in blue. Super, formerly known as Vampire, now on Invasion Esports, was on MVP back in the day. He was on that team for actually a really, really long time. A long-standing history with MVP, and still practices with them a little bit.
Has great pressure builds, great control. He's a very, very dangerous player at all times of the game, I think. We did see that against Bjol. He could take it to the late game. He could even fight against Swarmhost, and he could control it very well.
feel like if you follow contemporary StarCraft 2, the best player to compare him to is San, but it's like, and rather than comparing him to San's openings, you could compare it to San's kind of aggressive style. But what Super does is he doesn't try to define aggression into one like very, very highly optimized build of aggression like San does. But Super tries to be aggressive in a multitude of ways, lots of different pressure openings, and sometimes will take, for example, an early Nexus and then go into a really fast 4-gate follow-up. Loves his oracles as well in this matchup.
Yep. We are seeing that Nexus first against Hatchery first. Is it going to be 2 Hatch before Pool? I think it would have to be, considering his Overlord scouts the Nexus. Very surprised otherwise. And there it goes. So nice little economic game we're opening up in. Nice little greedy game.
I like it.
Yep. Both players going to scout each other nice and early as well. They're going to know exactly what they're up against. So from here on out, it should be interesting to see what they're going to transition into.
Oh, by the way, guys, during this little downtime, I want to mention that this stream, you can subscribe on Twitch. Get out there. If you want to support this stream, please do. Follow it as well. Follow the Twitch channel. It really, really helps, all the people here working at the Star League. You can do the same for the Pro League channel. And just, if you want to give some money back to esports, definitely. This is a great way to directly support not only this league, but the two of us and Valdez as well. And
if you guys want to see more of these leagues and the future of this league grow, I mean, like, subscribing and following is definitely the way to do it. It's the only way to do it.
But you know what? Even more important than that is actually watching. Just watch regularly. Tell your friends to watch. That's what really matters, is getting the word out about this awesome new tournament that's starting this year. And, it's a tournament that has a long-standing history. It is a Star League. And with this, obviously, things are just going to get better and better with so much StarCraft 2 in Korea right now. But again, the best way to support is to watch. A lot of people asking, where do I donate? How do I give money? Subscribe to the channel. Follow the channel. We're already in pretty high quality here. You want to get it a little bit higher?
If you guys want source, you subscribe.
I get that.
Otherwise, it's high. All right?
And don't fret. I know if you don't want to subscribe, you can still see us clearly here. Now, at this time, we've got the droning going on here for Leenock, because this is the very slow early game. The Overlord does not see the Chrono Boost on that Warp Area. So this is what I was talking about, by the way. He'll go for Nexus first and oftentimes just do a fast 4-gate follow-up. In this case, it's just 3 gates for now.
Well, look at this. Yep, we are seeing it's going to be 3-gate pressure.
It's chronoed, too. I mean, it's a really fast one.
But at the same time, we did see Leenock get that abnormally early gas on his natural. He has already speed on the way. Granted, it's only maybe a quarter done, a third done now. It's still going to be up in pretty good time before any real pressure mounts on the map. So I think, and especially now that Leenock has scouted the front, sees those 2 gateways, he has an Overlord kind of not too far from the Cybernetics core. And he does see it, so he can see it get chrono boosted. And he has been watching it, so he knows exactly what's going on, I feel.
Well, here comes that Mothership core around to the side as well. It's obviously one of the stronger points of this push. If the Queen's low enough on health, then you could just start hitting all the Queens and killing them with that core. First 3 Stalkers here. This is really fast. Leenock did see this, and he immediately put that Queen from the natural right over here to help defend. But this is still too much pressure for him to deal with right now. Once those 16 links come out, it's a different story. And that's when the Mothership core comes in to play as a retreating unit. He can actually recall these Stalkers out after the damage is done. Yeah,
well, he's going to have to in a second. The speed is just about to finish, and all these Zerglings are going to be coming out. And he will have to recall out unless he wants to really commit to it. And here we go now.
Well, sneaking the Stalkers like butter through those lings as long as he can. He just wants to force more lings.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Leenock's not having it, though. He made 11 drones. He knows he's got enough here to hold this off.
Well, I think Leenock thought he was going to recall out, but unfortunately not. So Leenock's going to have to make another wave of drones and roaches. And for now, just weather the storm. He's going to lose another Queen.
Yeah, he really didn't have enough to hold this. Now that Queen is too low, like I was talking about earlier.
Oh, maybe just enough.
The Stalkers are coming in, though. Yeah. Okay, Ro just come out, and he is going to be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine now. He snuck in those drones. He didn't really take any economic damage for it.
That was scary, though, for just a second there.
Yeah, that was a little misstep by Leenock.
Now, I want to point out that even though you get all those drones out, they're actually down on harvesters. It's 52 to 47. So even with a double hatch before pool, Super, with this counter pressure, is able to respond and take an economic lead. Tech-wise, he still doesn't have his Robo yet. He doesn't have his Twilight Council. His +1 is late. But I think this is a great move, and now he can take a pretty safe third base on this map.
His upgrade, his +1 upgrade, halfway done now. Once that gets to +1, he will be pretty immune to any sort of aggression that can come out in the map. Granted, if it's a lot of Zerglings. And we're seeing Leenock go straight into the Infestation Pit.
Yep. Those Lings trying to find something here. But good tight wall here. This is a small amount of roaches that don't have speed yet. He's just going to get crushed here.
Really caught out.
He's going to pull those sentries back against those Lings, and that was a terrible trade for Leenock. I don't even know if you call it a trade. He just got robbed.
Yeah, that was just a slaughter. Yeah,
Leenock is in such a terrible spot right now, and Swarmos might be his way back into this, but it's not going to be easy.
Well, I wouldn't count him out just yet. I mean, he did take a lot of damage, but there's no pressure on the map. Super isn't going to be moving out anytime soon until that third base is secure, upgrade is complete, Immortals are out, and Blink is finished. We are going to see that sort of Blink Stalker Immortal follow-up. But we do see Swarmos being made. We do almost being made. We do see Enduring Locust already being upgraded, so he's going to be going into that. And it's going to be a perfect kind of counter to the army that we do see Super making.
By the way, what do you think about this from Super? He's getting +2 armor instead of +2 attack, and he had a Twilight Council for long enough to have gotten +2 attack instead.
Oh, you mean +1 armor instead of +2 attack? Yeah, I kind of agree with you. That's a little bit of a mistake.
That's weird. I don't like that too much, because...
Well, I think he's planning to be very aggressive with this build, and he wants to get the upgrades out as fast as possible.
I was going to say, it almost makes me wonder if he wants to just get both and go into Colossi, which he is doing now, which is going to be great against Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, it is definitely the tech he has to go into. And you know what? We don't actually have enough Swarm Hosts down the map to really deal with this just yet.
There's an Observer here, and there's only a few Swarm Hosts, like you said.
This is scary. This counterattack kind of has to push him back. If it doesn't, then I think Leenock could be in a lot of trouble.
There's just too much of an advantage here, army-wise, for Super. He's going to have to warp in a Zealot Sentry here. Does get that off. And even a few Stalkers here to help defend. He gets by. Let's see if Super recalls.
Ooh, I think he will. Yeah, there we go, into the natural. And Leenock holds on. This really gives Leenock a second chance.
3 probes killed. Kills a Sentry. Stops mining in the main base and stops the push and gets his Swarmos out. That's exactly what he needed.
Yeah, this is exactly what he was aiming for with counterattack. And yeah, Super just couldn't deflect it. If he could have deflected it and kept his army out in the map, I feel like he should have had more than enough to really deal with those 4 Swarmos at the front.
Yeah.
So very, very important move from Leenock. Key move to keeping him alive during this very volatile time. Like, obviously transitioning into Swarm Host can be a delicate procedure until you have enough, and you have to be very careful holding on until then.
Leenock is great at moves like this, though. And, really, really liking how he's decided to play this one out. Swarmos that he's going to run into here, clearly not able to be engaged upon without Colossi. Ooh, if that Colossus had been a little bit further back, those Lings might have even caught it.
Yeah, not going to get the run by this time, but forcing some warp-ins.
Yep, there's only one cannon here. He has to pull probes again, to stack them up on that gas. Running them by as best as he can. Here comes some Stalkers. Good control here by Super, but again, if he's at home defending, it means he's not pressuring Leenock, which means he can sit back and build up that gas for the Mutalisk switch. The Spire is almost done. He's got all of his gases saturated now, all 8 of them.
Oh no, look at the Swarmos. They're kind of a little bit out of position. Gotta be careful where he puts them. And this is a very kind of,
oh my god.
Super aggressive style. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh boy.
So this is what I was worried about. Putting yourself out on the map like that, he's going to lose every single Swarm Host. And from here, we can just see a straight-up counterattack, and I don't know what Leenock can do.
Mutalisk, 17 of them are not going to be enough to hold. He's going to have to hope for an elimination race, I suppose, but...
Well, I mean, 17 Mutalisk could actually do some decent base trading, but not if Super's running up into your natural.
22 Stalkers and 9 Sentries for anti-air. Spines are not ready here. Not looking good for Leenock, because this army is already at his base. It's already at his doorstep. All he needs to do now is make a ton of cannons at home.
Yes. Really all he has to do is warp in Stalkers, because, I mean, all the Zerglings on the map already died in that last counterattack, which was definitely a mistake by Leenock. He should have maintained... he should have kept those Zerglings until the Mutas were there to support them.
But now we can even just use the Mothership Core for Nexus Cannon. The amount of damage that Leenock is going to get here is just, it's not comparable to what Super is doing. Super is killing him, whereas Leenock is trying to find some opportunity right now.
Yeah.
He does have these links to help support now, but again, the Nexus Cannon is here to help sustain these Stalkers.
It's just too much. It's just too much, and he really needs something to help complement the mutas. He really needs Zogans on the map to kind of help buffer against the Stalkers and the Cannons and really add a lot more DPS. But without it, I mean, Zogans coming from the 3rd and 4th base is just not going to be enough at this point, especially if there's a Colossi there to help out the Stalkers.
Yep. He needs to snipe that Colossus would be nice, but he's more concerned about the anti-air, so can't waste a second of firing on these Mutalisks.
Still a pretty healthy muta count around the 3rd base.
But look at the worker count. He's still got 53 left. He has all of his Nexi, and this is now almost too many Stalkers to kill them. With good splitting, it might actually be enough.
Yeah.
GG.
GG. Really nicely done from Super. And a critical mistake losing those Storm Hosts from Leenock. Just a little too aggressive. I mean, we're going to have to see people do that with Storm Hosts in Legacy of the Void, the way they're made. Like,
Yeah.
not yet, though. You can still play pretty passive with them.
Right. Well, I mean, they don't have to worry about terrain either because in Legacy, the Locust can fly. So it's a little bit different.
If you get the upgrade, Wolf, you got to be high for that upgrade, actually.
Oh, it's high.